Today I'll present to you one special bicycle that we have in our collection of bicycles at the museum. It's a Flyer bicycle. It's a special racing bicycle that was made by CCM. CCM early on in its history has been doing racing bicycles, but in 1921 they produced a special one called the Flyer, which was used by many racers in United States and Canada, and many championships were won with Flyer bicycles. A lot was done at CCM except the tubing, which was from England, but special parts were really for that racing bicycle. The handlebar and the fork was different. The hubs are different from other bikes, and they had special wheels. The crankset also is different from other bicycles. This bike belonged to one racer, and the name is written here on the frame. It's Lawrence Boris. He was from Montreal. And usually Flyer bicycle, the color is sapphire blue, but this one is a custom paint for him. We've been talking about racing bicycles. Racing was really popular at the beginning of the 20th century, and particularly there was a special race called the 6-day race, where a team of 2 racers would go from the Sunday night past 1 minute, something like that, until the Saturday night. They were doing 144 hours of continuing racing, and they each had to relay one to the other. It was an incredible race, and women were also doing that. And you had to have the best racers to do those races, and it was a kind of show also. You had to be a good performer to be able to do the performance where you were doing the sprint to escape from the others and things like that. So it was really popular. It began in the United States, and then it went to Canada. The first one was in Toronto. And in our collections, we do have programs of these important races. Here we have examples of programs in different cities in the United States. And for some of the programs, the graphic art is really interesting, very nice. Our collection also holds examples of programs for races that were done in Canada, like in Montreal at the Forum. Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, and the same for a later year. Quebec City, and also Vancouver. So even in Canada it was popular, and CCM was advertising also in those programs. Our racer from whom we got the bicycle, to whom the bicycle belonged, is Lawrence Boris, and we did find evidence of him in those programs. He participated in the 1935 and 1936 races in Montreal, in Ottawa, and also in another city in the United States. So we do have his photo and his biography. And here also. So the fact that we were able to find evidence of him really proved that the bicycle was of good provenance, which made it a good acquisition to make for the museum. And a little biography of Lawrence Boris. He's from Montreal. He used to be in amateur races, and then he was selected to be part of the team to go for the next Olympics. But he did all the evaluation. It was good, but he was proved to be too young. So he eventually went as a professional and participated in the 6-day races, among other races. At some point we lost track of him, and I don't know what happened to him. I tried to reach a member of his family, and was unsuccessful to find any links with him. In the museum collection, we also have catalogs of manufacturers, and we do have a fair amount of CCM catalogs. And 1921 is the first year that CCM put an ad for his new CCM Flyer bicycle. We'll have a look at it. This is the ad where already there's a champion that has been riding on a CCM Flyer bicycle. But it's a very, how do we could say, it's not a big ad for such a bicycle. It's
Very simple.
very simple ad. I was amazed because when CCM introduced their Flight bicycle, the Flight has the first page in their catalog in 1936. And so I was kind of surprised that they would not be so proud as they did, or maybe it's just a marketing thing that changed over time. So 1921, the first year the Flyer was on the market, and then eventually it will stay about the same from year to year, just minor changes. But at some point we will see by 1936, now the Flyer, they introduce the true Flyer is now named the custom-built professional Flyer, and that's for track racing. And there will be the other Flyer, which will be more a road model, and it's not really for racing. And there's a difference of price. From 1921 until 1936, the Flyer has been sold for $80. Well, I've been looking in 1923 for the average salary. $80 was worth 1 month of salary to be able to buy a Flyer bicycle. And eventually, in 1936, there's also just the road racers. So they have 3 models of racing bicycles, but only the Flyer, which is now the custom-built professional Flyer, is the true track bicycle made by CCM.